know that turtles and tortoises are the oldest living reptiles on Earth? Big celebration over at the Wilderness Station in Barfield Park. 3 until 5, Tuesday afternoon, May 23rd, in the Wilderness Station at Barfield Park. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSradio.com.
Rutherford Issues is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. You know, as a member of MTE, you have access to educational resources to help you tailor your lifestyle and energy use. Interested in electric vehicles? MTE offers incentives to learn about EVs and connect with others who share your interest. We're going to be talking about Kamari House today, and one of their board members, Barbara Turnage, is joining us here today in studio to talk about Kamari House. Good morning, Barbara.
Good morning.
Good to have you with us today.
Thank you for inviting us.
Absolutely. So tell us, I guess, first of all, about Kamari House. What is it that Kamari House does here in our community?
Okay, Kamari House is and it actually is a house,
okay,
but it's a program that helps with visitations for non-custodial parents.
So it's kind of an equal place,
it's a neutral.
Neutral,
place.
that's
Yes.
the right word. There you go.
I can help you with words, and you'll be able to help me.
There you go.
So it's a neutral place for parents to meet. So the non-custodial parent can meet there, but there's a process they have to go through before they just start coming to visit their child there.
Okay, but it is a physical place where all of this happens.
Correct. It's a physical home, and the home it's been there since 2012, and it was started behind a young child, 16-month-old baby, Kamari. Mm-hmm. And because of what happened with him in our city, that a Kamari House was started.
Do you know the story well enough to share the reason that or how all of this got started?
Yeah, would you mind if I read it?
No, that's fine.
Okay. So Kamari was only 16 months old when he died at 8:55 p.m. on June 18th, 2010, at Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital in Nashville, Tennessee. Officials from the Tennessee Department of Children's Services and Murfreesboro Police determined that Kamari died from injuries sustained at the hands of his maternal grandmother's husband. In short, Kamari died from child abuse. Kamari's mother was a young student at the time of his death, and she brought Kamari to Murfreesboro from her home in Indiana to spend the summer with his grandmother. She had no idea that when she left Kamari with her grandmother that summer that he would never return home. And there's more to the story, and I'm not sure how much of the story you want to hear.
Well, that obviously is a very tragic story, and I guess because of now Kamari House, hopefully that lessens those types of situations.
Yes, it does. Well, and in Kamari's sense, the house would have helped him for visitation, but not for a place to live. Mm-hmm. And so what we do is we try to provide a place for the non-custodial parents to come and visit their child in an environment where there's either a person in the room with them or a person who's watching the visitation. And either the ones who's watching or that's in the room with them can provide helpful suggestions to the non-custodial parent as they're interacting with their child.
So is this kind of maybe a court-ordered situation because maybe some legal troubles or things of that nature from the non-custodial parent?
Yes, the majority of our clients, I would say around 75% to 80%, are court-ordered. And then there's some that they, through their divorce, they decide that this is the better way to handle visitation. And so the ones who are court-ordered, there are reports that go back to the court.
Mm-hmm. And just, I guess, a safe place, a supervised place for this visitation because, I guess some of these non-custodial parents may be trying to establish the relationship with their child.
Yes. And the non-custodial parents are mother and father. So it's not one gender that more so use Kamari House. It's whoever the non-custodial parents is. And so say that I am a recovering addict and I'm wanting to reestablish a relationship with my child. I can utilize this facility. Mm-hmm. Or just say that I had a bad divorce and the court has ordered for us to utilize this venue to visit with the child.
We have joining us today Kamari House board member Barbara Turnage, and we're talking about Kamari House, which is here in Murfreesboro. Let me ask you this. Are there situations where maybe there is just kind of maybe used as a meeting place to trade off, just as a neutral place? Yeah, exchange.
Yes, but with an exchange, the parent, whether it's a custodial or non-custodial, cannot park for a couple blocks close to Kamari House. They have to park away from Kamari House. Okay.
And that's probably not as big as the non-custodial visitation.
The visitation is more of what we do. And then one example of a visitation is a mom wanted to make cupcakes with her child. So the mom brought all the items in, and they utilized the kitchen to make the cupcakes.
Oh, wow.
So, it's a great interaction, but it's also imprinting a fun memory with that child about the interaction with that mom.
Sure. And, who knows, in a year or two, if things get much better and whatnot, that helps to create a bond and a relationship that 2 years from now, it may just be normal visitation.
Correct. Right? Yeah. Or playing games with the child.
Yeah.
There's skills that you learn as a parent and also as just teaching your child, that playing a game. You learn how to talk to your child, how to give guidance, how to support that child. Also how to redirect a child when the child is not doing the correct things. But also you learn about you in this interaction. You learn what your skills are. Am I able to really say, example from my childhood, we played jacks.
Oh, yeah.
Now, one of the things I do with my granddaughters, we play go fish. But both those skill sets is an interactional skill set. Is eye-hand control. It's learning dimension. It's learning how to be a good loser. If you're playing old maids and you don't win all the time, you have to learn how to be a good loser. And you have to be able to learn how to support your child when they feel bad about losing, or when they, overjoyous about winning.
Right.
Because, being a good winner is also something that we have to learn how to do, because you don't want to shame the person who lost.
My kids would say I needed to do that when we played Monopoly, maybe.
Okay,
so.
Yeah, I was trying to think of Monopoly. But that's a great game. And think about Monopoly. You learn how to count money. And counting money is how to count in life, period. And although it's mostly basic numbers, when you're buying a house or a hotel, you have to do multiplication and division.
Right.
So there are great skills that you're learning in playing these games. But if the parent doesn't have these skills, then they have to learn how to develop those skills.
We are talking about Kamari House today, and there are staff members, I guess, that are there for the day-to-day interactions and work there.
Correct. Now, most of the staff work on the weekends because that's when the most visitations occur, evenings and weekends, because most parents like you and I, we work. So it's not 8 to 5. But there's always a staff member there. Can I go back through how you become engaged as a parent with Kamari House?
Sure.
So first there's a phone interview and to make sure that you are the correct type of person and we're the correct type of service that you're looking for. And then the non-custodial parent, and which they call the visiting parent, and then the custodial parent meet with the staff. So that's 2 and 3 parts of it. And then they meet with the child to see if this is a good arrangement. Because they don't want to get you set up in a system that's not going to work for you and then you fail in, whereas the parent fell in or the child fell in.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where all parties need to be comfortable with what's going on, and I'm sure that the child is first and foremost the one that is the center of that spotlight,
Correct.
If you will.
The service really is for the child, to make sure the child doesn't lose the relationship with that non-custodial parent, but also to make sure the child is in a safe environment. And I do want to add that everyone who works at Kamari House has, at the minimum, a bachelor's degree.
Okay.
So everyone has education in the area that they're working in, whereas social work, whereas counseling, whereas probation officers, they worked in this environment before.
So Kamari House got its start here in 2012. Are there similar programs in other areas, maybe?
Well, we serve all of Middle Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
And that doesn't just include Rutherford County or Davidson County. It includes several counties within that. And I think the furthest we had people come to utilize our service is Indiana and one other state.
Oh, wow.
I have to work on my memory here. But so it's not just in this current area that we're serving individuals.
Sure. Well, I mean, that's good to know that this program started here locally, but has an impact all across Middle Tennessee and even the Southeast, it sounds like. Correct.
And then the others, I want to talk about the payment. The services are on a sliding fee scale. So depending on what your income is how much you pay for the services.
And that is an important piece, so, the cost for the parents, too.
Yeah.
Barbara Turnage is joining us, a board member with Kamari House. How long have you been involved as a board member at Kamari?
This is my second year.
Okay. So what was it about Kamari House that you thought, I want to give my time as a board member?
My background is social work. And so I've worked with families in all different types of situations. And I've worked in home-based therapy. I worked in psychiatric facilities. I've worked with the homeless. And so Kamari House just fits in my wheelhouse of the services I want to provide to this community. While I'm employed at MTSU, this is my community service that I always feel as a social worker, I need to be invested in the community I live in.
Well, that kind of answers my question, about what you do. And so you've been at MTSU for a while?
For 12 years.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Very good. So are you teaching? Is that?
Yeah, I'm a professor of social work, and at this point in time, I'm the interim dean for the College of Behavior and Health Sciences.
Oh, wow. So you've got a full plate.
Yes.
So obviously it means a lot for you to be able to give of your time to Kamari House. I mean, it has a special place.
It really does. And Kamari House's mission, I'd like to go through that. Can I do that really quick?
Sure.
And it's just parts of I want to read. Our goal is to build healthy families, inform communities, and establish resilient children. And informing the community, we need to make sure, and this is why I'm so thrilled we're being able to do this, the community about our services, and how they can get involved. I would love for a lot of the individuals here who's listening to donate to Kamari House. While we take cash donations, we need water bottles, and not water, filled water bottles. Mm-hmm. We need supplies for the kids as far as games, as far as snacks. We provide all those things when the kids come into Kamari House. We try to make sure it's an environment for whether they're infants to teenagers, that it's an environment that they feel comfortable in.
By the way, Kamari is spelled Kymari, so KamariHouse.org is the website where you can find a lot of information, and I'm sure there's a way to donate or at least find out how to do that on the
Correct.
Website.
And also, if we're looking for board members. So we have 3 openings at this point in time. So if you're interested in being a board member and you'd love to share your experiences and your gifts, we are open to discussing it with you.
And would they just contact Kamari House?
Correct. They would go on the website, and then or the phone number for Kamari House is 615-956-6106.
Okay, very good. 615-956-6106, the phone number, and we'll get that information on the podcast when we post that for you, so you can check it out at WGNSradio.com under the Rutherford Issues show for the podcast. Anything else, Barbara, you want to share with our listeners this morning?
I just want to encourage everyone to be good community stewards, which means being involved in your community. A lot of times we enjoy the services and activities that are there, but we don't give back of ourselves. So as a social worker, I would be diligent if I didn't say that we want you to really be involved in the community here.
Very good. Well, if folks want to check out Kamari House online, it's KYMARI house.org, KamariHouse.org, where you can find lots of information. And I want to send a shout out to Kim Anderson. She's doing great things out there, isn't she?
She's our director.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, very good, Barbara. It was fun to have you in studio, and anything we can ever do to help spread the word about what's going on at Kamari House, just be sure to let us know.
Thank you again for this opportunity.
Absolutely. Barbara Turnage joining us today here in studio, again with Kamari House. More information online at kamarihouse.org. And don't forget, we'll podcast this show on our website, WGNSradio.com, which also goes out to Spotify, Google, Apple Podcast, iHeart. You can find it in all those locations. Just subscribe to the podcast, and you'll get every show every day.
Greetings, friends. This is Lenny Farmer with the Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home in Murfreesboro. If you ever had to deal with the final arrangements of a loved one, funerals are both